Hey everybody, Justin here, developer of Race Data One with the software update, and this is a major one. Now, I've added a few additions to the software with some recommendations from those that were using it out in the field. Said, hey, it'd be pretty cool when we're tuning if we had a dyno mode, and so the dyno mode makes it so that the track information will not be added into the initial analyzation of the data. So these two data's up here. This when in dyno mode, if we were at a dyno and we're doing dyno testing and we put up the dyno numbers up here, and then we put up these sheets, and in this case I'm having a spike issue in these fuel maps, so I'll explain that here in the prompts. But and say we're at the track, then we would want this track information into there, and we would want the dyno mode off. But if we were sitting at the dyno or just tuning and we don't want track information in with our analyzation, we can put dyno mode on. In this case, we're going to leave the dyno mode off right now because I want this track information in here, because these are pulls that were made at the track. And what we're going to do is we have an issue here, and so one of the other additions that we created was the microphone here. So now we can just talk into it normally without having to type, and then once you're done talking, you hit the mic again and then it'll transcribe here. So in this case, we're gonna ask it a question here. So once we click it once, it turns the mic on. The mic is green. Now the mic isn't live right now. The mic is just ready to go. And so once you click it again and it turns red, it'll go live. And so I'm going to ask it a question here. We're gonna go live. I'm going to say I'm running a plate on my 5.0 and I'm getting a lean spike either from a bad fuel pump, voltage drop, or line pressure drop. I have attached data log showing when this is occurring. One sheet I only sprayed fuel, and the other one is both of the solenoids disabled. Is this a tired pump, a quick pressure drop from the fuel solenoid opening, or a voltage drop issue? And then what you go is you just hit the button again. You see it transcribed immediately there. And then you just come over and you hit the send button. And now Grok is thinking here. It's taking these two images right here. And we capped it at 2 because image analyzing costs you a little bit of money. Not a lot. Each one of these runs is costs you cents. So it's not a lot of money. Under 50 cents a run, we'll say, if not cheaper, 20 cents a run. I'll analyze a little bit more for you guys down the line, but it's actually fairly cheap. So, but we capped it at images because images take a lot of data. They're actually looking at these images right now. He's breaking them down. He's looking at the track weather right there. We're using the general advisor. We didn't use the drag race specialist, which I probably should have, but I didn't for this video. But the drag race specialist here and the is all these prompts have been elaborated on, so they're huge prompts now to deal with this data. In this case, this is just looking at the data, getting the best from it. If we're using a drag race specialist like we probably should have, it looks more into the weather, the DA, and stuff like that. So, and you can also experiment with these roles. So if you have the dyno mode on, say, so it doesn't do the track record, and you go to a Dyno Tuning Engineer, which is a totally different master prompt, and this master prompt is basically an expert dyno engineer, that takes in much more dyno tuning stuff into account when you're sitting there trying to tune the engine for the best horsepower or track or whatever you're on. You would use that Dyno Tuning Engineer, because what happens is this data goes off in the tabs. In this case, the track data went off and your prompt goes off, and if you had any CSV files or any other log files up here with fuel pressure, air, all that, anything else, those logs also would go off all the data would be analyzed in any of the CSV or JSON files. Any of those logs, that data would be analyzed as well and sent off. So if you can imagine, there is a lot of information being sent off in this analyzer right now to get these recommendations. And so now here we can save the report, and we can save it at port as BIR Minnesota. Dyno, we're going to say it used the Dyno. Hang on. I think we used the General Engineer, so I'll save the report. There it is. BR, General Guy. And then fuel issue, solenoid. Solenoid? I don't know how to spell, but there you go. So you see it's down on here, and now we can open that up in the PDF. We can read it a little bit bigger here. And you can see that it tells us, you know, what the name of the title is, the role that we used. We used the general role. When it was created, the track we were at, the weather at the track, the source files that it was using, and the recommended analysis in this case. So, and you can see as we look at this, you know, this is not a primary classic tire pump. The lead is event driven. So, and you can see how it goes ranked causes and just right down the line, you know, what could be the issue and everything to look at. So all this great information that you don't have to look up, that you can come and sit down right down the line and say, okay, I can look at that. I can look at that. All right. What this is not, you know, it's not a jetting issue or something like that. Next pulls, prove it in one session. I mean, it just goes right down the line. And now this was, you know, this was the general engineer here. And then you can see there's a quick little blurb at the bottom. So you guys could slow this down and read it if you want. The recommendations for this. But I suggest once you buy it, you download it. You know, if you're a tuning shop and interested in using this, contact me in the contact form there on racedata1.us, and I'll get you a discount code, severely chopped discount code for you guys to use in your shop for testing it out. I'll do a limited number of those, so if anybody comments below, smash the like, smash the follow, and drop a comment if you would want a severely discount code. I'll give away a few of those to some tuning shops, so you guys can start using this software right away. My name is Justin Gunn. My name is Justin Gunn, the developer here of Race Data One. I'm an ex-drag racer myself, so I'm totally understand what I put into here, and this would be the stuff that I would want at the track every day, whether I was rallycross and F1, IndyCar. I mean, just think of Race Data One as another tool in your toolbox. Just a tool that uses artificial intelligence and a lot of tools in the app to analyze your data fully and hopefully come up with some tuning ideas or fixing ideas to help you guys out and help you out quicker and get you up there faster. Once again, I'm Justin. This is Race Data One. You can get it at racedata1.us. Thanks again for everybody that's using it right now, following along. I appreciate all the love.